You walk up to a tap, fill a bottle, tighten the cap, and drop it into your bag. The water leaves with you. It is such an ordinary act that it barely feels like technology. Now remove the bottle. No plastic, no glass, no metal canteen or clay pot. You are standing beside a river with a small group of people. The shelter is over a ridge. The animals you are following have moved inland. There is water everywhere, but your hands can carry only a few mouthfuls. 1 liter of water weighs about 1 kilogram. Finding it is only half the problem. You need to hold it while you walk. So, where are the prehistoric water bottles? Their absence may have less to do with people going without them than with what those containers were made from. The most useful materials were often the easiest for time to erase. Walk through an archaeology museum and you will see stone everywhere. Hand axes, scrapers, blades. It is easy to leave with the impression that stone was the main technology of early human life. Stone has one enormous advantage. It does not rot. Leather does. So do bark, wood, plant fiber, and animal tissue. In ordinary conditions, a soft container can disappear while the tool used to make it remains in the ground for thousands of years. A museum displays the survivor, not the complete toolkit. That does not prove people carried water in skin bags. It explains why direct evidence is rare. Some evidence did survive. At sites in southern Africa, researchers have found pieces of engraved ostrich eggshell dating back roughly 60,000 years. Archaeologists interpret some of these shells as parts of water containers. A small opening could be made in the shell, and an intact ostrich egg can hold about a liter. It solved several problems at once. The shell was hard enough to survive a journey, light when empty, and already hollow. Some also carried geometric designs. A water container could be useful and still belong to someone. But ostriches do not live everywhere, and one surviving solution does not tell us what every group used. Historic and ethnographic records show people carrying water in stitched hides, gourds, bark vessels, large shells, and tightly woven containers that could be coated to slow leaks. Animal stomachs or bladders could also be cleaned and used as flexible bags. Those examples show that the materials can work. They do not prove that a particular prehistoric group used the same method. Recent communities have histories of their own. They are comparisons, not windows left open into the Stone Age. The skills needed for soft containers were available in many places. People who could scrape, hide, make cords, sew with sinew or plant fiber, carve wood, or weave baskets already understood most of the necessary actions. It is reasonable to think some of those skills were used to carry water. Reasonable is not the same as proven. And finding something hollow was only the beginning. Carry a badly folded piece of bark and it opens. Stitch a hide carelessly and the seam leaks. Make the vessel too heavy and the container becomes part of the problem. Even a good one needs cleaning, repair, and a way to tie or lift it. The work lived in those details. A mouth had to close, a seam had to hold, a woven surface might need a tighter weave or a coating. None of this leaves the kind of dramatic object that dominates a museum case. It was still technology. A skilled napper can strike a sharp stone flake quickly. A reusable soft container may require several jobs: preparing the material, shaping it, joining it, testing it, and fixing it when it starts to fail. We cannot compare the labor across every prehistoric society, but the humble water bag was not necessarily the simple object it appears to be. Once the container worked, its material mattered less than the distance it bought. Without portable water, every trip away from a river includes a return journey. The farther you walk, the more of your day belongs to getting back. Food or shelter may be waiting beyond the ridge, but thirst keeps the river in the plan. A container loosens that restriction. It may let a group stay for a short time where there is no spring. It can make the dry ground between two known water sources easier to cross. One person can bring water to a child, an injured person, or an elder who cannot make the trip. The freedom was limited. A bag did not turn a dry landscape into an easy one. It bought time, enough to finish a task away from camp, wait through part of a hot day, or reach the next place where water was expected. The water source no longer chooses every campsite on its own. Food matters, wind and shelter matter. So does the ability to see what is approaching. Water still limits the decision, but it does not have to sit beside you. No water bag caused migration by itself, and no single container created settled life. It simply made some choices possible that had been difficult or closed. That gap creates a bias we still carry. The stone axe reaches the museum. The hide bag returns to the soil. We see one, so it becomes serious technology. We lose the other, so it becomes a footnote or a guess. But if you need to leave the river, the object that holds water may shape your day more than the object that cuts. Go back to the tap. You fill the bottle, tighten the cap, and walk away without planning when you must return. The bottle does not look revolutionary. That is why it is so easy to miss what it does. It lets a small piece of the river leave with you.